Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you've just clicked on a link that I posted to Reddit, if you were tricked by Tyler on Twitter, or if you bit on our expertly crafted thumbnail right here on YouTube, then you may be entitled to hear the best doggone college football show east of the Mississippi. To our
Like and
loyal
subscribe.
recurring, I'm getting there. To our loyal recurring viewers, we spiced up this week's video structure because, according to YouTube analytics, 50-minute video is a little too long to hold y'all's attention. Except, of course, for our moms, and I think Wyatt and Sam. Y'all are the best. Anyhow,
My mom has only been texting me the things that we can do to do better. So the great jobs have kind of stopped and slowed down in the last few weeks.
Hey, like I said, we're spicing it up. So in this expedited video, we'll provide you with a high-level overview of this week's key matchups as well as our predictions. If you like our style and want more in-depth video breakdown, you are in luck. We just finished recording our full-length deep dive episode where we delve into the dirty details and diverge our dastardly decisions for this week's games. The link to this video should be appearing over my face as we speak. If we couldn't figure that out in post-production, it can be found on our YouTube channel. Just click on the longer video with the same thumbnail. So think of this as a little cheat sheet.
We're still amateurs, folks.
Yes. So yes, think of this as a cheat sheet to this week's games. And Tyler, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Yeah, okay. If I can figure out how to use PowerPoint. There we go.
There we go. We have Alabama at Missouri. Alabama looking like world beaters ever since they lost the opener to Florida State. I think Kalen DeBoer's, his passing attack is starting to really pick up. The one piece I note on this game, and again, we go into more detail in the longer video, but for brevity's sake, the Alabama offense does, while it relies on passing, it equally relies on a rushing attack that it keeps the defense honest. Missouri has been able to just shut down opponents rushing. And so I think that poses, not that this could be a look-ahead game, but just that could give Alabama trouble. Tyler, any thoughts?
Yeah, no, and I agree with you fully about rushing. I mean, I talked about it earlier, but Ahmad Hardy, that kid from Missouri, he's having a bomb of a season. I don't know if I can say that, but yeah, no, he's having a really good season with over 700 rushing yards so far. Historically, just looking back, and I know that we shouldn't do this because we did it last week with the same game of Vandy versus Alabama, but last year when these two teams met, it was a 34-0 rout for Alabama over Missouri, and two of the biggest participants in terms of weapons for Alabama at that game were Brian Williams and Jeremy Bernard, who are both still active participants and some would argue the MVPs of the team as of now. The biggest thing you also got to look at, though, Kev, is we talked about this. The Missouri schedule to date, they have not been tested even slightly. Their biggest opponent so far has been South Carolina, who in the preseason we were probably all touting as one of the better teams in the SEC, but has really fallen off. And it's worth noting that Pavula, is that how you say his name? The quarterback for Missouri? I forgot his name. Bo Prabula. He had less than 200 passing yards in that game. I think the final was 182, and they managed to win against South Carolina just because Lenore Sellers couldn't connect on some key throws, and they were crippled by penalties the whole game. So going into your pick, Kev.
Yep. Got Alabama winning money line in a close game like this. I'd hate to be wrong on Alabama winning by 2 or 3. But Tyler, what's your pick?
Yeah, I'm taking Alabama to cover here. I do think they come in and get it done, and I think it's a bit of a mismatch when you look at Missouri's pass defense and Kalen DeBoer's setup. And I get what you're saying about Alabama's rush defense, but the only real rush threat they have to worry about is one kid, and I do think that Kalen DeBoer can get a scheme together where they find a way to kind of like double up on him down there in the trenches. So I like Missouri here, I like Alabama to cover here, and just because of my rule of taking the under anytime the spread is this close, I'm taking the under. All right.
So now in our other game, let's see. I think this game actually starts at noon. So I might have misspoken here, but anyhow, big noon kickoff, baby. 11 a.m. local time, Illinois. Unless I'm wrong. But we have Ohio State, number 1 team in the country.
Big noon kickoff. So yes, it is a noon game. Big noon kickoff.
Big noon kickoff, baby. So we have them coming to this Illinois team that people wrote off for dead after they got mollywopped by Indiana, and they've quietly put together an impressive home win against USC, and then they beat Purdue last week. Traveled to Purdue, got it done by 16 points. This is one of those games where you look at the spread; it's 14.5 points. So if you're picking against the spread, you don't need to have much confidence that Illinois is going to win. You just have to have confidence that they are going to keep it within 2 touchdowns. And the key that I went into in more detail on in our extended video is that Ohio State, the key to beat them is to get them into 3rd down and longs. They've only converted, if you don't count Grambling, it's 3 for 18 in those 3rd and long situations. That's going to be the challenge for Illinois. Just get that crowd involved, make things difficult, and see if Illinois can get it done for the first time since 2007.
Yep. And we talked a little bit about the historical matchups with these two teams, how they haven't faced each other since a 2017 matchup when it was Urban Meyer and Lovie Smith. And that result was Ohio State 52, Illinois 14. Look, for this one, it really just comes down to I'm kind of going back to the preconceived notion of Ohio State has put together such a mammoth of a program this year, and I think that Illinois has shown enough holes, especially when it comes to Luke Altmaier's protection when he's in the pocket. I think that's going to provide a big opportunity for Ohio State to exploit some of their weaknesses, especially because they got Caleb Downs. He's going to be starting. He's going to make his Luke Altmaier's life a living hell, especially when you consider the fact that Ohio State's QB sack percentage is 10.71% of their plays that they're out there, which puts them at number 3 in the country. I know we said we wouldn't get into numbers, but that's the one I wanted to use. And then looking ahead, Illinois has nothing to really worry about past this game. Ohio State does. So that's one reason why you can see Illinois maybe coming up a little bit stronger and hungrier. But I think it's just class at the end of the day. So, Kev, going into your pick, you pretty much gave it away. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, when you're the defending champions, you're getting every team's best shot. I think similar to what Alabama's going to face at Missouri, especially when you're going into an opposing crowd. And like I said, you don't have to think Illinois is going to upset Ohio State, but I see them keeping it within 2 scores, 2 touchdowns.
And you see, I don't. I think that Ohio State's going to run away with it. That's purely a gambler's pick the more I think about it. And I do think that the facts support that, especially when you look at how Ohio State is playing against the spread in general this year. So, yeah, and my confidence level at that should show 2. I don't know why it's showing 4 on the little skull thingy that kept put together. Big Ten matchup of the week. It's going to be in Eugene, Oregon. Thankfully not Portland, Oregon. Haha, topical. Yeah, they're going to be number 7 Indiana and number 3 Oregon. Spread is plus 7.5 for Indiana. They are the dogs in this matchup. I have Big Ten championship preview listed here. Kev had a better point where he said it's more like the winner of this game and the winner of the Ohio State-Illinois game is probably a Big Ten championship preview, which I agree with. Now, the other narrative going into this, Dante Moore, clear and far the biggest favorite for the Heisman currently, but you also got Fernando Mendoza kind of sticking his head around the corner with each week that passes by. Both teams coming off a bye, both teams coming off 1-score Big Ten victories. Kev, I'm going to give you one note, and then I'll just roll into your pick, okay?
Okay, this is the one thing I'm going to bring to the table. Both of these defenses are giving up 100% opposing red zone scoring. So if a team gets into the red zone, stay at your TV, because not once this season has either team stopped a team from scoring. You might be thinking Oregon got that interception against Penn State in overtime, but that was from the 25-yard line. So go ahead, show that pick.
Oh, 7.5, not 7.
As we should say, it should be 7.5. But I do think that Alston Field is going to be electric. I think it's one of the premier, honestly, kind of an underrated venue, but it's just loud. It might not be steeped in tradition. It's just loud there. I don't think Indiana's going to win, but I do think I hope it's a close game because this could really, like you mentioned, both teams coming off bye weeks. I hope it's electric.
Right. Kev, I have a question for you, a legitimate question. At what point can I, even though I have research, just tell you, look, I'm taking this pick based on the vibes that I got going on? Uh,
That's how I picked most of the games this week and last
yeah,
week, and I've been doing a lot better than when I just obsessed over the numbers.
yeah. I mean, I'm still obsessing over the numbers, and I do think that Indiana, they're gonna have to change up their play style a little bit and probably focus more on a pass-heavy offense. Just looking at how Oregon's pass defense is something that is exploitable, and I mean, Omar Cooper is going to be probably Fernando Mendoza's favorite weapon to throw to this game. I mean, he's been his favorite weapon all season, but that's what's going to be the key to this game. And while I do still think Oregon's going to win, I could see it being something funky, like I don't even know how you'd get to this, like a 31-26 game, something like that. You know what I mean? And yeah, give me Indiana to cover.
If it ends up being 31-26, you guys have to subscribe.
That's right.
Lock it in. Okay.
Lock it in.
What you got here?
Red River shootout, Red River showdown, Red River rivalry, all those together. One of the most storied matchups in college football. This is the case of John Mateer being purely responsible for Vegas odds seen right before our eyes. When I first saw this spread came out, I thought that somebody was just like handing it to me on a silver platter by making Oklahoma the dog. And even with Mateer out, I don't know. I still think that they have enough pieces around them, around their quarterback to make this a good game. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Oklahoma can bring up against a Texas team that unfortunately right now is just not able to protect their quarterback in any fashion. I mean, the kid was sacked, 4 times against Florida. He was forced to throw 2 interceptions, and that's against Florida, okay? You can't look at how Oklahoma's defensive line is playing down there in the stretch and not tell me that they are 100, maybe not 100, but at least 5 times better than Florida's. So, Kevin, I didn't even let you talk. Sorry, man. Go ahead. What do you got, Kev? What do you got?
I think like we've been talking about how a team that loses, they're in line for a comeback performance. However, Oklahoma is not San Jose State. They are a tough team to try to get your eggs in a basket, ducks in a row, whatever that saying is. That's a tough one when the Sooners roll into town, especially they got a chip on their shoulder after I think it was 34-0 maybe last year.
Yes.
So this is one of those games where John Mateer also, he's injured, but as of late, he is questionable. He was not officially ruled out on the first injury report. So at the very least, that's keeping the Texas coaches up at night just to game plan.
How do you give any cadence or any credit to Michael Hawkins Jr., the backup, for throwing 3 touchdowns against Kent State?
I don't give him props, but I do see that as promising. That
It's a good start. That was the best game he possibly could have had his first start in, for sure.
Yeah, and I watched a little bit of that game, and there was a distinct difference watching that Oklahoma offense being led not by Mateer. So the outcome was very pretty. There were some times where it looked a little like he was still figuring things out, but that's why you do that against Kent State. Now he'll have if he is called upon, and with this Texas team, you don't have to put up 30 points to beat them.
Phillies have 2 bases loaded. It's 3-1. Kevin, what's your pick on this game?
I got Oklahoma covering, and I mean that over under, that's not a typo. 42.5.
Yeah.
This could be a 10-3 game, but I think the offenses are going to start humming a little bit just because it's this game.
Yeah, and Kev, it's a shot. I'm taking Oklahoma too, obviously, for everything I just said. I thought about the over like you did, but because you know how you have certain gambling rules that when you detract from them and you lose, and you're like, all right, I'm never going to. True. My rule of a spread of 3.5 or less, you take the under. I'm not going to take the under, though, because it is 42.5, but I'm still staying away from the over for fear of going against my own rule. So, yeah, but I even if Mateer's not playing, I'd give me Oklahoma +3. I think Texas just has got to get it figured out, and Oklahoma is not the spot to do it.
Agreed, yeah. But there's a chance we're talking on our recap this weekend. Hey, maybe Archie Manning was ruled out
Arch
too quick.
Manning is all the way back, all the way
Maybe
back.
anything can happen. This week or this college football season has been an effigy burn to consistency. So
Yeah, and it's like I said to you on the last episode. I mean, at the end of the season, they're gonna line up the top 10 players and just do a spinning wheel and have like fucking Harbaugh beep coming down and making a guest spot while he throws the darts at a board, and whoever he lands on is gonna get the 1 seed.
it'll be the South Park, the chicken with the
Yeah,
Federal Reserve.
the most prudent move is to give Notre Dame the 1 spot.
Nice. Let's see. If we go to the next slide, we'll do our little recap.
Yeah.
Just for anybody who has not been watching. Next slide, we have a little bonus parlay for you here.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk through these in the interest of time, but take a look. We like our odds. Tyler hit his.
Why don't we just say the picks without a reason out loud?
Okay, Florida State plus or -6.5 at home against Pittsburgh. I think I messed up that line. I think they're supposed to be maybe -10.5. Anyhow, Maryland.
Alternate. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's
Maryland.
definitely an alternate line because of the -192, but keep going.
Yeah, I think I got the 192 right. Whatever. Maryland 10.5 at home against Nebraska. Georgia money line on the road against Auburn. They're only a 3-point favorite. And then Davison Figueroa, I think he's going to upset Montel Jackson at UFC Fight Night Brazil this Saturday. I've been red hot with my UFC little bonus picks.
Yeah, and I also took Maryland, the alternate, 10.5. That's amazing coincidence that we both picked that against Nebraska. Texas A&M team total over 24.5 against Florida. Penn State -21.5 at home against Northwestern. That would bring your total legs here that I have at +386. If you want to take a bonus with me, I'm going to take the Eagles -7 against the Giants. I'm not going to give us Giants speech on this video, but yeah. All of those picks together for me brings it up to +792. I actually did the math with all of our picks, Kev. If you want to ride everything, so that would be a 7-leg parlay because we both have Maryland. It would bring you to +73.89. I did put $10 on it. If we are very good, I make 730. So we'll see what happens.
Wow. All right.
Hey. Here's what. If this hits, me and Kev will go to Applebee's to celebrate, and we'll do a live stream.
And we're going to get room treatment or whatever that means, so the sound's even better for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. I don't know if I can do that.
$700 there. All right.
All right.
Anyhow.
And then the last thing, Jared's lock-in pick for the week is Alvin Kamara, under 41.5 rushing yards for the Saints when New England is coming into town on Sunday.
All right. And I think we just do a little teaser. Just click through the next 3 slides. If you want Tyler's expert analysis on these games to be checking out.
We have
this
a
weekend.
rapid fire where we go through 13 of the marquee games. The 4 of them we've already talked about. So there's going to be some bonus content in that long video for sure, guys. We have another great week coming up. There's going to be a lot of close spreads. I think in this list that we put together, only I think 4 of them were more than 10 points. So that's pretty good in terms of the college football matchup world. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to be planting myself in my couch again on Saturday. Cannot wait.
I have to go to a baby shower, but I'll be checking my phone for this.
Infield reporter. Yeah.
Infield reporters. All right. Thank you all.
Peace.